what's happening? Hope everybody's been doing well out there. I wanted to make this video for maybe like a month or so, but I wanted to make sure I could back it up and make sure that everything's blooming and looking good before I start yapping away and throw out promises that I can't keep, or hopes that don't necessarily back up. But this is a video on some good fruiting bushes that you can plant in the colder climates. I'm in zone 6, zone 5-ish, depending on who you ask and what it's worth. So I think I have nine or 10 of them, and some of them you might not have heard of. Some of them are becoming more popular, and then the first two or three that I'll go over are kind of common. So stick around, and they all made it, so pretty excited about it. So the first one I have for you, I guess with all these, there's tons of varieties that you can go with, and I've had, it'd be raspberries. So I have black raspberries. These grow wild around here. They're in the woods. They're over by my potting shed. You might have seen, I did a video on how to propagate them, how to prune them. Well, propagating's kind of, they propagate themselves. That's not important. But pruning, how to get tons of berries. I spend about 45 minutes every night in peak black raspberry season pulling raspberries off of those things. My kids come out and eat them, so it's great. They yield a ton. And I mean, the same goes for raspberries as well. I have some reds. You can kind of see my line right here. I have some reds, golds, purples. I believe there's 11 different varieties in here, and some of them, this will be their 3rd year, but most of them, this will be their 2nd year. So I've dug around. It looks like they've all made it, so I'm pretty excited about that. Excited to try them. If they don't fruit this year, maybe next year. I'm not in a huge rush to get all of them rolling, but I am excited about it, so we'll see how that goes. So another one of my buddies is the blackberry, and it looks like they're coming back through the bottom. I'm definitely less familiar with blackberries. I have a couple of them over here. There's a line of them right here as well. You can kind of see mixed in with some black raspberries. I was experimenting on full sun, partial sun, and when I initially put the blackberry in the full sun, I think it was a little too much. I was getting some silver colored leaves on there. I felt bad for the poor girl, so I threw her over here up against the house on the south side. But we got trees over here, so not a lot of sun. Still got a couple berries off it, which is cool. That was the first year that I was running it, so I think it should be coming back with some vigor. And yeah, blackberries, I guess, really pretty self-explanatory. Everybody knows blackberries. You can get those at the store. What else we got here? Elderberry. I think most people know about elderberry. I think I've got 5 or 6 different kinds out here. This one, I think it was like a Sam. We'll call that one Sam. There's another one right here. Another one over there. Sorry, should really work on my camera work. So yeah, elderberries are great. Tons of flowers. You do have to cook them. I haven't eaten any yet. I picked a bunch off and froze them. There wasn't quite enough last year to do anything with, so I just froze them. I was gonna put them in smoothies, but I'm glad I waited so I could figure out how to cook them. I don't know how well they'll cook after being frozen for a couple months, but whatever, we'll figure it out. What's that next one looking like? So I kind of spaced yesterday when I was covering this all. I didn't mention blueberries. Blueberries are great. They need this. It's a little tricky. They need their soil a little more acidic. I think it's between 4.5 and 5.5. So I amend the soil. I put a little sulfur, dried sulfur pellets on the ground every year, and then just kind of monitor it from time to time to make sure that I've got it close to where they want it. You can grow them in pots if your area is a little trickier, but yeah, blueberries, they do really well up here depending on your soil. I know they like it a little sandier. These were established when I moved in, which was awesome. I mean, that's, huge ups to the prior owners, but I've also planted 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I planted about 14 last year. of varying varieties, and they're all doing well. So, you know, no complaints on that. Get yourself some blueberries, dog. Now we're talking about Hass-Caps, fam. Here we got one. I think I have about 5 different kinds of these as well. I just bought one of each. There's a nice lady about 45 minutes away from me that was selling all sorts of stuff last year, so I grabbed 5 of these. I think they're like 15 bucks a piece, and I am currently in the process of removing all the flowers, which will turn into berries, but with it's a small plant and I want it to get bigger. And if you have small fruiting bushes and you want them to get bigger quicker, I am an incredibly impatient person. So instead of sitting here getting like, you know, 10-20 berries per plant this year, I'm taking the flowers off and I'm shooting for like 60. I don't know, we'll go for broke next year. But it's got a lot of great new growth on it. Look at all that, man, looks good. And they really boom when you take off the fruit lines. It takes so much energy to grow a fruit. And just as an example, here's a nectarine tree right here, and it's over my head by about a foot. It's looking great. Here's the other nectarine tree. This one I let grow 3 nectarines last year, and this one's about as tall as I am. The other one I picked off all the nectarines, and it grew, like I said, about a foot taller. So, you know, I am so impatient that I'm just ready for next year. I might end up, you know, letting a couple of them go just to remember what they taste like. Last year I got a couple of them, but it wasn't anything substantial. So this year I'm just trying to really keep it rolling. What's up, Lolo? So yeah, Hass-Caps, or honeyberries as they're also known. People say they taste like super blueberries, or just, they're like blueberries but better is what I hear everybody say. They're just like blueberries, but they're even better. And those do need full sun. So right here I have a gooseberry. It's a very interesting berry. It's kind of like got the texture of a grape. With what kind of flavor? I mean, I guess there's a couple different flavors. I wasn't blown away by it, but I know they're, you know, birds seem to enjoy them and they get big, and I'm sure if I mix them into smoothies they'll be good for me, or fruit leather, or whatever we like to do around here. And they enjoy partial shade, which is awesome. So I've stuck them behind fruit trees. This right here is a plum. There's a peach over there. Let me zoom in real quick. There's a peach over there. It's starting to bloom again, which is awesome. I was worried about that with all the really cold weather we have, but right behind that is a gooseberry. So I've been trying to do, in these rows, I've been trying to do, let's say, elderberry, tree, gooseberry, and then there's another elderberry, a Hass-Cap, a fruit tree, and another gooseberry. This one right here is a currant, which is also on the list. There's a bunch of different types of currants. I think this one's I want to say this one's white. I guess it could be one of the pink ones. Is that a ladybug? I can't see it, my bad. It's hard to see. I'm not that worried about it. So yeah, currants is on the list as well. I've had wine made out of them before. I'm not a big wine guy, but the fruit's really good. And along with currants, I guess, what was it, black, white, pink. I'm sure there's all sorts of hybrids in there. There's another elderberry. There's the Josta berry, which I'm trying to remember. It's a mixture of a currant and maybe a gooseberry. Let me look at my notes real quick. My notes say it's a cross between a black currant and gooseberry. My notes could be wrong. I'm not gonna stake my life on it, but that berry I really enjoy. The flavor was really good. It produced a lot for the first year, and I'm excited to see where it goes this year. The other one is a pink lady apple, looking gold, man. Look at that. That's gonna be a beautiful tree once it gets bigger. I'm probably gonna end up sniping apples off of it after the flowers bloom, because man, it's a great color. That's a beautiful pink. So we'll see how that goes. This is a Saskatoon, which is fun to say, or a service berry. It appears to be doing well. I don't know if this is my second year having this. I don't know if this is a late start for it. It is a little strange that one spot right here is blooming and the rest of it's budding out. I'm leaving it though. I'm excited to see. These ones get really, really big. And you know, they shoot out a bunch from the bottom, like kind of like red osier dogwood. Pardon the mess. I mean, there's compost in here. I gotta flip a bunch of stuff, and it's not meant to look pretty. It's supposed to function well. So this will get tall. I've heard the berries taste like blueberries as well, with a little more flavor than regular blueberries. So we'll see if that's true or not. This is rhubarb. So I think this is its third year. Some seed pods coming out, so I'll probably end up chopping those. Maybe take the seeds, I don't know. There's asparagus coming up, that's cool. I got tons of strawberries. I'm gonna end up taking some of these and using them as living mulch. If I take you back to the Pink Lady apple, you'll see that it does a good job covering the ground. I couldn't tell you how many strawberries I started with when I planted them all out, but I've got 5 beds of strawberries in there, some big, some small. And eventually I'm going to work them all out here and just provide living mulch to all the fruit trees, let them take over and do their thing. So now we make it to the honorable mention. I would love to put it on this list. I can't vouch for it because I tried growing seeds last year. They didn't work out very well. I was talking to some lady about buying a couple plants, but it was, I don't know. She wanted 30 bucks per plant and it seemed like a little overkill for me. I don't have a problem waiting a couple years growing it from seeds, especially, you know, I got kids and stuff, man. The sea berry. It's a little orange berry. It's got a bush, thorns. I think you can get it thornless. That's probably what I would opt for, because I would hit it with my lawnmower wheel tire thing and puncture it. I'm sure I would do that. Some of the gooseberries do have barbs on them. I do my best when I'm pruning them to toss them into like the compost pile, somewhere where I'm not going to hit it with a lawnmower. I'm really good at finding stuff with the lawnmower. But yeah, this what was it, the sea berry? And from my understanding, from what I've heard from other people, it helps fix the nitrogen in the soil, which is awesome. If you can have a plant that does that and provides you with some fruit, I think that's a win-win. A couple more that I've looked into a little bit but I haven't gotten a hold of yet are chokeberries, and I don't know a lot about them, so I'll just throw the name out there and you can like look into them. Chokeberries, goji berries. I almost bought a couple plants from the same lady a couple of years ago, and she was saying she just didn't like them, so it threw me off a bit. I was like, maybe I'll, you know, go to the store and try to find some and taste them before I commit to, you know, 2 years on the plot and find out I don't like them. I kind of did that with the black currants. There's things you can do with the black currants, but they are kind of astringent. They're very bitter. I'm sure I'll look more into that, just because I like having different varieties of things for cross-pollination. And with the way I've spaced them out, you know, if something comes in and likes the plum tree and just picks away at it, I've got a plum that's about 30 feet away, and I'm hoping can kind of stick to one of the plants. Same with the cherry trees, apples, nectarines, pears, peaches. I try to space them out a little bit, get something in between them, get a few things in between them, and just kind of hope for the best. And the last one's lingonberry, and that's I believe it's Swedish. I always have known it to be Swedish just because of, you know, Swedish family and stuff like that, but those are cold proof. I don't have any here, but I know they grow in colder climates than mine, and I've had lingonberry syrup. That's really good. But yeah, those are, I guess, just a couple more to think about if you're looking into this type of thing. It's nice having options up further north, because man, I love mangoes and pineapples and lychees, and it's just too cold without a greenhouse to grow those up here. So based on what we can grow up north in the bitter cold, these are the options that I enjoy, that I really like. And if you can think of any more, I mean, leave them down for me to read. I got time to read them, so. Sorry, I'm petting a cat while I'm sitting here. So yeah, I mean, thank you guys as always for hanging out. Appreciate your time. Hope you're doing well. It is nice to see the sun again, man. I know where you're at, but we get a lot of overcast, so there's probably about 5 or 6 months of gray skies, and this is just the thing to knock you out of that winter funk, which I tend to stay as busy as I can to just avoid thinking about stuff. So anyway, appreciate you guys. You know, take care of yourself out there. Thanks again for your time, and it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.